Now available. Paperback and Kindle Unlimited. ISIS, the main event. It's carnage inside of a steel cage when the goddess next door steps in the squared circle with the beast from the boss in this action-packed all-new ISIS series adventure. Get ISIS, the main event. Paperback and Kindle Unlimited today.
Hi everyone, it's your boy Sean, and I'm here with another comic review video. Now, I've been getting a lot of these comics I put in pledges for on Kickstarter and Indiegogo, and the first comic I got from one of the creators, Corey Hardiman, was Sister Mercy. Now, when I first saw the Sister Mercy Kickstarter and read the premise, I was intrigued. And I was intrigued for two reasons. First, I liked the premise as related to the character, and I also liked the art because Your Sister Mercy really reminds me a lot of the old Bad Girl comics that started in the 1990s with Everett Hartsoe's Razor and continued with books like Ben Dunn's Warrior Nun Ariella. And both of those books are milestones as related to the indie comics marketplace because Everett Hartsoe's Razor opened the door for the Bad Girl heroine with Nicole Mitchell, and Warrior Nun Ariella really opened up the independent comic book market because it was the first comic to really take things to another level as related to merchandising and really getting the word out about an independent character. And when I look at Sister Mercy, she reminds me a lot of the best parts of Everett Hartsoe's Razor and Warrior Nun Ariella, and that she continues to be a part of the sexy bad girl comic genre. And she also shows us the best as related to the storytelling and art in that genre. Because this book has a really solid premise and a really solid art, and both of those make for a truly compelling comic. Now, oh wait a minute, that's the risque cover, can't really show that, but well, I'm gonna go in and show you the story, which is in a post-apocalyptic world, very similar to what we see in Resident Evil, and we really start to get a very interesting story as related to Sister Mercy, who's living in this post-apocalyptic world and is a nun like your warrior nun Ariella, and is living in this abandoned church with her mother, and she's in this church and she's living with her mother, and it's possible that she may or may not hear the voice of God. And that really reminded me a lot of the movie Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger back from 1990. I don't know how many of you have seen that movie, where Arnold Schwarzenegger's Douglas Quaid, his memories may or may not be real. We don't know if he's living the implanted fantasy or if he really did overthrow this dictator, Velos Kopagan, and Mars. So we don't really know if his memories may or not be real, and we do not know if Sister Mercy may or may not be hearing the voice of God. Is she mentally ill, or is she a servant of God? And that's a really interesting question that I like that he proposed in this story, because it's a reason to get us to care about the main character. Now, Corey Hardiman and his artist Ricardo Silva do a great job of introducing us to first the apocalyptic world and the establishing shot of this wrecked car, then taking us in this great setup of panels. Look, it's a very interesting way of doing a 9-panel layout, and he shows us this main character of Sister Mercy and really does a great job of introducing us to the main character. And then we start to go into the story and we find out what she wants after she puts on her clothes in a very, again, fits the bad girl genre, the cheesecake, because cheesecake is a part of the bad girl genre, because guys are not just coming here for the action and adventure, they're coming here to see the extremely sexy women as well. And the sexy nun here is part of the premise for Sister Mercy, and again, one of the big parts of what makes this people really want to care about this character is how she looks in her costume. But what makes us really compelled to keep reading this story is the story and how it sets up. So we've gone from this main character what she wants to do, because she wants to be a servant of God. She wants to follow her mother, and she wants to be just like her mother. And again, she's in this post apocalyptic world. And all of a sudden, as she's starting to go about her day, here come the bad guys who are coming for her. And she wants to go out here and protect her mother. And her mother sees that she's trying to protect her, and then tries to go out and defend against these bad guys. And I don't want to give away too much of the story, but it's not it really it ends like in your old like many of the old bad girl comics end with a a lot of action, a lot of adventure, a lot of action, and it doesn't disappoint as related to the action. The first issue, again, really does a good job of setting up the main character, the premise, and why we should care. And the whole first issue was a rock solid first issue. I mean, the first issue is extremely strong in terms of storytelling. The only issue I had with this first issue was with the pacing, because this comic goes so quickly that it's over like that. And I wish that Corey would slow things a little bit so that we can take a breath, because this book goes by so fast that it's not funny. But it's again, that's only a minor nitpick, because the premise is solid, the character development is solid, the art is incredible, and the first issue leaves a strong first impression on the reader. And when I saw the art, that was one of the things that did get me excited about this book, because the art is so strong, and the writing further got me compelled when I read the premise. And because I came in on the second issue's Kickstarter, and I wanted to, and the book looked so good, I wanted to go get the first issue. And the first issue does what a good first issue does. It introduces the conflict, the premise, the main character, what they want, and why we should care, and why we should pick up the next issue. And the next issue does what a really good second issue should do: continue moving the story forward, all while giving us a little bit more backstory into the character. And Sister Mercy #2, The Valley of the Shadow of Death, does a great job of showing your Sister Mercy escaping the evil priests who are a part of the church. And we get more cheesecake again, and that cheesecake is part of the bad girl genre and reasons why people buy these comics. But this story, again, is not as shallow as some of the bad girl comics. Again, this one is on the level of Everett Hartso's Razor and Ben Dunn's Warrior Nun Ariella. Both of those comics are considered, as I see it, the gold standard for the bad girl comic genre. They really show us, again, the sexy cheesecake images, but also give us the compelling storytelling. And the second issue, as your Sister Mercy escapes to the lighthouse and starts wandering, we start to get to see what happens to her mother, and we also get a look into her origin story. And again, the art here is absolutely gorgeous, and the storytelling further develops the characters. And again, once this issue was over, I was just really disappointed because I wanted more. And that's the sign of a really good comic, is making you want more and making you count down the days until the next issue. So I'm hearing that he's going to be launching a Sister Mercy #3 soon, and he's got a couple of pages of Sister Mercy 3 already done. And I can't wait until that time so I can pick up the next copy of Sister Mercy. It's just that well done of a comic, and it's one comic, again, I can really recommend, and it shows me that comics aren't really dead out here. It's just that the mainstream comic publishers really don't want to put together anything that the customers want. And this is a comic I believe customers would really want because the storytelling is so well done. The storytelling is so compelling, and Corey Hardiman breathes fresh new life into the bad girl genre with Sister Mercy. He does a great job of taking the bad girl genre and making it fresh for the 21st century. So this is a really great comic, and I highly recommend you put in a pledge when Corey does the Kickstarter for the third issue. And I wish somebody like Ben Dunn would pick up this comic because this comic follows in the footsteps of Warrior Nun Ariella, and this comic would be a valuable asset to his catalog. So I really think that Ben Dunn needs to get in touch with Corey Hardiman because we have a great successor to his legendary Warrior Nun Ariella. And if Everett Hartsoe is around, and I think he's doing some great things with his Razor and his Razorverse, they need to go talk to Corey Hardiman about recruiting him for his publishing house because this writer is, as I see it, he's got the stuff, he's got the talent, and he's one step away from taking it to the next level. And his Sister Mercy is a great comic, and again, one I can highly recommend. And if this is what he's doing on his own, if he worked with a house, I think he could take himself to the next level and be a major force, the same way Everett Hartsoe was with Razor, and the same way that your Ben Dunn was with Warrior Nun Ariella. And we could have one of the next big icons in the bad girl genre coming out with this book. So I really see a lot of promising things with this book. I see a lot of promising things with the premise, and I see a comic that is there and is top notch. And again, this is what people want from comics, and we need more comics like this. I mean, some people may be put off by the cheesecake, but that's part of the genre and what people come for when they pick up comics. Overall, guys really like strong. If you like strong heroines, Sister Mercy is a strong heroine, but she's strong and sexy, and that's what people go to buy comics for. So this is one, again, I can highly recommend you pick up. The storytelling is rock solid. The art is real solid. And this is one you definitely don't want to miss out on. And when he launches the Kickstarter for issue number 3, you definitely have to go back and pick up issues number 2 and number 1. And if you want to pick up my books featuring strong and sexy heroines like the Isis series, the E-Steam series, and the books of the Spinsterella trilogy, you may do so by clicking the links to Amazon.com in the description box. There you can find my heroines in paperback and Kindle formats, and you can pick up those books as well. And if you want to see me do more comic review videos like the one I've done for Sister Mercy, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App so that I can continue putting in pledges for great comics like Sister Mercy and making video reviews to give great creators like Ricardo Silva and Corey Hardiman a larger audience so that their books can get more exposure. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.
Now available in paperback and e-readers, Isis, Samurai Goddess. The goddess next door takes on kung fu killers in this action-packed martial arts Isis series adventure. Get Isis, Samurai Goddess in paperback and e-readers today.